September 4th, 2025, marked the end of an era for Karol Espasano. It was his final day behind the wheel of his magnificent white 2013 Lamborghini Aventador. This wasn't just any car, it was a statement, a rolling piece of automotive art that turned heads on every street corner. As he slid into the low-slung driver's seat, the familiar scent of Italian leather and high-octane fuel filled the cabin. He pressed the start button, hidden under a red fighter jet-style flip cover, and the massive V12 engine roared to life behind him. It was a sound that never got old, a symphony of mechanical fury that promised an unforgettable driving experience every single time. The Aventador was a masterpiece of extreme design and engineering. Its sharp, angular lines looked like they were sculpted for speed even when it was standing still. The scissor doors, which opened upwards instead of outwards, were a constant source of drama and excitement. Karol loved the raw, unfiltered connection to the road the car provided. Every bump, every slight change in the pavement was communicated directly through the steering wheel. Hitting the accelerator was an event in itself, pinning him back into his seat with a force that was both terrifying and exhilarating. Driving this car was an occasion, a special event for all the senses. On this last drive, Karol took the Aventador on his favourite winding back roads, letting the engine sing its glorious song one final time. He savoured the way the car gripped the asphalt through tight corners and the explosive power it unleashed on the straightaways. The paddle shifters delivered brutal, lightning-fast gear changes that felt like a kick in the back, a signature trait of Lamborghini's single-clutch transmission. He knew he would miss this visceral feeling, the pure, unadulterated performance that made every journey feel like a lap at a racetrack. This car was his dream, a poster come to life, and saying goodbye was harder than he expected. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow on the Aventador's white paint, Karol pulled back into his driveway. He sat in the car for a few moments, listening to the engine tick and cool down. He ran his hand over the carbon fibre trim on the center console and took one last look at the digital instrument cluster. This car represented a chapter of his life filled with noise, speed, and public attention. It had been an incredible machine to own and experience, providing countless memories of thrilling drives and car show admiration. But as he stepped out of the cockpit, he knew, with a mix of sadness and certainty, that it was time to turn the page. Despite the incredible thrills, living with a Lamborghini Aventador as a daily vehicle presented a growing list of challenges. The car was, to put it mildly, incredibly impractical. Simple errands like going to the grocery store became a logistical nightmare. The front trunk, or frunk, was barely large enough to hold a single backpack, let alone a week's worth of groceries. Parking was a constant source of anxiety. The car was so wide that it barely fit in standard parking spaces, and the fear of getting a door ding on its expensive body panels was ever present. The low front spoiler also meant that every speed bump and steep driveway was a potential disaster. The driving experience itself, while exciting, was also physically demanding. The ride was incredibly stiff, making long journeys uncomfortable and jarring. Visibility was notoriously poor, especially out of the back, making lane changes and reversing a stressful maneuver that relied heavily on hope and small mirrors. The single-clutch transmission, so thrilling on a track, was clunky and jerky in slow-moving city traffic. Karol found himself planning his entire day around the car's limitations, avoiding certain roads, certain times of day, and even certain destinations, simply because the Lamborghini was too much of a hassle to drive there. The novelty was wearing off. Furthermore, the attention the car attracted was becoming a double-edged sword. While it was fun at first, the constant requests for photos, people following him, and the inability to just blend in started to feel intrusive. He longed for the simple anonymity of being just another driver on the road, He wanted to be able to go somewhere without his arrival being an event. The cost of ownership was another significant factor. The maintenance, insurance, and astronomical fuel consumption were a constant drain on his resources. A simple oil change was a major expense, and the thought of any potential repair was a source of constant worry. Ultimately, Karol's priorities had shifted. The desire for raw speed and head-turning looks was being replaced by a need for comfort, convenience, and peace of mind. He wanted a car that would simplify his life, not complicate it. He dreamed of being able to pick up friends, haul some gear for a weekend trip, or navigate a crowded parking lot without breaking a sweat. The Aventador was a fantastic weekend toy, an incredible feat of engineering, but as a tool for everyday life, it was failing. The decision was made. He needed a change, a dramatic one that prioritized practicality over performance. On September 5th, 2025, the day after his farewell drive, Karol took delivery of his brand new vehicle, a gleaming white 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe. The contrast with the Lamborghini could not have been more stark. Where the Aventador was low and aggressive, the Santa Fe was tall, boxy, and friendly. Its modern design featured clean lines, distinctive H-shaped headlights, and a practical, user-focused aesthetic. This was a car designed for real life, for families, for adventures, and for ease of use. It represented a complete pivot in Karol's automotive philosophy, a move from the exotic to the exceptionally sensible. The interior of the Santa Fe was a revelation for Karol. After years of contorting himself to get into the Lamborghini's cramped cockpit, simply opening the Hyundai's door and stepping into the spacious cabin felt like a luxury. He was surrounded by high-quality materials, comfortable seats, and an astonishing amount of space. The dashboard featured a massive panoramic curved display that seamlessly integrated the digital instrument cluster and the infotainment system. It was packed with technology designed to make life easier, including a premium sound system, wireless Apple CarPlay, and a suite of advanced driver assistance systems that the Aventador could only dream of. One of the biggest differences was the sheer utility of the vehicle. The Santa Fe had 3 rows of seats, meaning Karol could finally drive with more than one friend at a time. With the rear seats folded down, the cargo area was cavernous. He could now go to a home improvement store and buy lumber, pick up bulky furniture, or pack for a long camping trip without a second thought. The vehicle also featured clever storage solutions, like a UVC sterilization compartment in the glove box for sanitizing phones and wallets, and dual wireless charging pads for driver and passenger. It was filled with quirks and features focused on convenience. On his first day, Karol decided to put the Santa Fe to the test with all the tasks the Lamborghini couldn't handle. He went to the grocery store and easily loaded a dozen bags into the trunk. He navigated a tight, multi-story parking garage without any fear of scraping the bottom or sides. He drove over speed bumps without slowing to a crawl. He even picked up 4 of his friends to go out for lunch, something that would have required 3 separate cars before. The ride was smooth and quiet, isolating him from the bumps and noise of the city. It was a completely different world. Comparing the Lamborghini Aventador and the Hyundai Santa Fe is like comparing a fighter jet to a luxury tour bus. The Aventador was all about the raw, visceral experience of driving. Its purpose was to go as fast as possible while being as loud and dramatic as possible. It was a sensory overload machine, built for speed, sound, and spectacle. Its value was in the adrenaline rush it provided and the statement it made. It was an object of desire, a dream car that prioritized form and performance above all else, sacrificing every ounce of practicality to achieve its singular goal of being extreme. The Hyundai Santa Fe, on the other hand, is built for a completely different purpose. Its primary goal is to make life easier, more comfortable, and more convenient. It excels at carrying people and their things in a quiet, safe, and relaxing environment. Its value lies in its versatility, its technology, and its ability to seamlessly integrate into a person's daily routine without causing any stress or hassle. Where the Lamborghini shouted, the Santa Fe whispers. Where the Lamborghini demanded attention and skill, the Santa Fe offers assistance and serenity. It is a tool designed to serve its owner's needs in the real world. On his first day with the Santa Fe, Karol felt a profound sense of relief. The constant low-level anxiety that came with owning the Lamborghini was gone. He could relax behind the wheel. The smooth, quiet ride was a welcome change from the bone-jarring suspension of the supercar. He enjoyed the simple pleasure of listening to a podcast without it being drowned out by engine noise. He discovered a new kind of automotive joy, not the joy of G-forces and screaming V12s, but the joy of effortlessness, comfort, and freedom from worry. It was a more mature, more practical kind of happiness. Today, looking back on his decision, Karol has no regrets. He still appreciates the Aventador for the incredible machine it was, and the thrilling memories it gave him. But he loves his Santa Fe for what it allows him to do every single day. His epic car upgrade journey wasn't about getting a faster or more expensive car. It was about getting the right car for his life right now. He learned that the best car isn't always the one that turns the most heads, but the one that best fits the driver's needs. And for Karol Espasano, the practical, comfortable, and tech-filled Hyundai Santa Fe is, without a doubt, the perfect upgrade.